Control of Congress is very much on the ballot in this year's midterm elections, but so is control of dozens of governor's seats. Lisa Desjardins has more.
Democrats and Republicans alike are hoping to flip some governor's mansions this year. 36 states and 3 territories have gubernatorial matchups this midterm season. Today, we'll be diving into 3 toss-up races: Oregon, Arizona, and Wisconsin. To find out what issues are animating those races, I'm joined by Dirk Vanderhart with Oregon Public Broadcasting, Zach Schultz of PBS Wisconsin, and Yvonne Winjet-Sanchez with the Washington Post. Thank you to all 3 of you. We're going to get into your fascinating gubernatorial races in a second, but first, just in general, I want to get to what's at stake here, and I want to start in particular in Oregon with you, Dirk. It's festival season. Can you paint a picture of the season there, and in particular, how does the governor's race loom? What is at stake in your state?
It's actually very hot and smoky here right now, unseasonably hot, and I would say that voters here are angsty or even upset. They're looking at rising crime rates. They're looking at increased homelessness, particularly here in Portland. And I think they're really reevaluating whether this, very traditionally Democratic state needs to continue with the same leadership or whether they should look to some other options.
All right, let's move over across the way to Wisconsin and to you, Zach. When I think of Wisconsin, I think of your lakes and streams. I know trout season just ended. But adding to all of that, you've got quite a hot governor's race. What does a governor's race mean there? And tell me about the spending.
The spending is astronomical. We've never seen anything like it in this state, and we're used to expensive, nasty elections, close elections over the last 20 years, and we've never seen this amount of money being poured in, double, triple what we've seen in the past. And people are seeing it on their televisions, they're seeing it on the internet. I'm hearing from people saying, my kids can't even watch YouTube without hearing ads come up about politics, asking me, who are these people?
Yvonne, you heard Dirk there say in Oregon it's unseasonably hot. I understand in Arizona, Yvonne, that it is in the 90s or approaching the 90s this week, but obviously a lot of attention on your governor's race. My question is, what does the governor's mansion mean in that state? Why is it so important? Take us into the dynamics there.
This race, more than any other race on the ballot, is really a test of which direction we are going to go over the next 4 years. Are we going to plunge further into this realm of election denialism, or are we going to try to settle that the 2020 election was free, fair, and accurate, and we're move on with an eye towards 2024?
So let's stay with that, and that very supercharged, now nationally watched race for governor in Arizona. And I want to show some of the ads that are running there in particular. On the Republican side, candidate Kari Lake is a former TV anchor. There you see her. She's being unconventional. They're throwing hammers and other things at televisions, basically saying she doesn't trust the media. And then for the Democrats, they're running the Secretary of State in Arizona, Katie Hobbs. She's less visible, but she's been going after Kari Lake in ads like this one you see here, saying that she's an extremist. So can you take us into this race? Where is Secretary of State Hobbs and her campaign? Why hasn't she been out more, do you think? And then what exactly does Kari Lake, the Republican, believe, in particular about elections, as you're saying?
Katie Hobbs is doing these small, sort of conventional campaign meet and greets across Metro Phoenix, where 60% of the state's voters live, and this is an area that decides major races. You cannot win Arizona without winning Maricopa. She has a much lower key presence, and she would argue that this is a more effective way of greeting voters and being able to really delve into issues in a more traditional way, one-on-one, looking people in the eye. Kari Lake, on the other hand, has really taken it to Hobbs for refusing to debate her. She is often seen as the face, as the leading star in viral videos that highlight Hobbs's refusal to meet her on the debate stage, to talk to her in a way, or to talk to voters in a way that we've done for decades on the debate stage. And though she's trying to soften some of her rhetoric around the 2020 election more recently. It's very clear that Carrie Lake is still stuck on 2020. She has really made this election about an allegiance to Donald Trump or not. And that is going to be the big thing that voters are going to decide on. And the polls suggest that Carrie Lake could win.
Zach, you in Wisconsin, the Badger State, have an incumbent governor, Tony